A guten Erev Shabbos and Erev Shavuot to all of you guys out there. An incredible weekend we are coming up to, a weekend that we've been counting 49 days since Pesach. It seems so long ago towards. And we are here, Erev Shabbos, Erev Shavuot, getting everything ready, and we have time to go ahead and to get in our weekly Parsha and Yom Tov, when I've got an amazing idea that's mind-blowing today that has been with me for the few weeks. It's been going through my mind. But first, I want to thank our sponsors this Shabbos. First of all, to Chani and Avrami Schlisselfeld on the happy birthday to their 15-year-old son, Sruli, this Shabbos. They are so proud of him. They should get such nachas from him. And Amir Hashem, one day we should be able to tour you guys after trying to get me so many times as well. I want to thank Dan and Rebecca Ashburn for sponsoring our weekly email this week in memory of the precious Yonas on Simcha, who we miss so much. Yoni Ashburn, who was nifter at a very young age not too long ago, and Demir Hashem, his neshama should have an aliyah, and hopefully he's going to be up in Shamayim enjoying this Parsha video and all the Torah that we send, and his music will certainly be with us as well. And on the note of music, and on Torah, and on Shavuos, right? We have somebody special that I've been thinking about, and that I have a great song for you guys to listen to that I composed. And that is that Shavuos is the Yartzeit of David HaMelech, right? David Melech Yisrael Chai V'Kayam, right? You know that song. Well, I'll give you a better one soon. And it is not just a coincidence, and so it is so deep, so special. David HaMelech, that just saw so many incredible ideas. But in addition to being the Yartzeit of David HaMelech, and in addition to being the Yom Matan Torah, we're told that Shavuos is also the Rosh Hashanah, right? The New Year's for the fruit trees. That Hashem judges us on. It's not the New Year for counting like Tu B'Shvat is, but it's the day that Hashem judges on the fruit trees. So there's a certain element of Rosh Hashanah that's on the fruit trees. In fact, we're told, I think one of the Talmidim, the Baal Shem Tov, it was Baruch Meimezovich, that went ahead and said that he's more nervous about about Shavuos than he's nervous about Rosh Hashanah. He goes, Rosh Hashanah, Hashem dans on Gashmias, a koichel aher, a koichel ahin, a little challah here, an extra challah there. But Shavuos is the day that Hashem judges us on our Torah, on the Eitz Chaim, on the Eitz Hadas. This is when that happens. And what's fascinating is, and what's the connection to the trees, and to David, and to Shavuos, and to Torah, it all comes together, because it all goes back to one idea that the Ari HaKadosh tells us, that David HaMelech is the Shirish Neshama and the Tikkun of Adam Harishon. Adam Harishon, we're told, was supposed to live 1,000 years. Ki Yom Echad is like a one day in our lives, like 1,000 in the lives of Hashem. And the Medrash tells us that Adam Harishon was supposed to live 1,000 years had he made it to that Shabbos. But he didn't. And Hashem showed him all of the generations, and he saw David HaMelech as being born and dying within 3 hours. And he says, how can such a holy soul die so quickly? And he gave 70 years of his life to David HaMelech. And so David HaMelech lives 70 years, meaning that David HaMelech is born and died on the same day. Somebody else was like that as well, and we're told that's Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is born and dies on the same day, on Zayin Adar. And there's a connection between that also. Somebody's being born and dying on the same day. It means that they fulfilled their purpose and that they're born again within each and every one of us. And so Adam Harishon sins, and he loses it. His sin is with the Eitz Hadas, the tree of knowledge. David HaMelech is coming to this world to be misaking that sin, to fix up the sin of Avraham Avinu. It's an incredible thing. David HaMelech is going to go ahead and sing the songs of Hashem, going to bring that Torah to its fullest, to its fullest extent, to its fullest degree. And David HaMelech is connected with the Adam Rishon in that intimate, most special of ways, and he's going to become Mashiach. Will come from that line. It will be the perfect thing. In fact, he lives 70 years because 70 years is the life of man, connected to the 1,000 years of Hashem. He's going to bring those two worlds together, the one that's going to bring the Beis HaMikdash. However, we're told that David HaMelech as well messes up, right? And how does he mess up? He does an Avera, and it's incredible. The reason why David HaMelech does this Avera, Chazal tells us to teach all of us that we can do tshuva. And his Melech is... His Avera is what? His Avera is that he sins with Bathsheba. He takes this woman that he's not supposed to marry, or he is supposed to marry, but not yet. The Gemara tells us, Darash Rava, Ki ani letzela nochain umachoivi negdi samid. Right? I was prepared for this limb, this rib, and my pain is in front of me. Ra'uya haisa Bathsheba bas Eliam leDavid mishishim habrachis. Bathsheba was supposed to be his basher. This was his zivug, Bathsheba, from the 6 days of creation. He came to her early. He ate her like an unready grape yet. The Torah's Chaim explains, what does it mean that Sheshes Yemei Habrachis? Right? Aren't Shidduchim already from 40 days before a person is born? And he goes, no. This is the Shidduch that is really the tikkun of Chava. Bathsheba is going to be the Gilgul of Chava. And we're told that Adam sinned, not only from the Eitz Hadas, but he also sinned by having relations with Chava, his wife, before he was supposed to. He should have waited for Shabbos. Shabbos is when it's all supposed to come together. Shabbos is when we have the full unity, when we bring the worlds together. And Adam Rishon started a little bit too early. And now David HaMelech has that same sin. He understands that Bathsheba, he sees her, this is my tikkun. This is what it's supposed to bring the world to its completion. But he takes her early. And when he takes her early, he misses out on that. In fact, he should have known from her name, he says, right? What's her name? Bathsheba. You should wait for the 7th day, right? She was there from Sheshes Yemei Habrachis, waiting for that 7th day. And he took her early. And he sinned. Just like Adam Rishon sinned. However, he ate her paga, like that grape that's not ready. Adam Rishon should have eaten from the tree of life, right? He could have eaten the tree of knowledge on Shabbos, but he took it too early. He was supposed to make kiddush on that. When we make kiddush, we're told one of the pshatim in the grapes of God, in the tree that was Gan Eden was grapes, was wine, and he sinned, and he took it early. And as well, we sin. David sins, takes her early. Bathsheba, he sins with her. And then we come to Parshas Nasai, because we're going to connect that as well. David HaMelech, in Parshas Nasai, we're told about a mitzvah called a Nazir. Guess what? David HaMelech has a Nazir in his life as well. That Nazir is his son, Avshalom. And Avshalom is supposed to be misakin the sin of Adam Rishon and the sin of David HaMelech, who took it to him. What's a Nazir? They explained the Shlach Kodesh says something so powerful. It's really based on the Marsha. Also says this concept, right? A Nazir is that a person becomes a zar, they're a stranger. Adam Rishon was perfect, and then he became a zar. He became strange. A Nazir is going to head and to fix that back up, to get that tzura of Adam Rishon back. In fact, that we're told that Avshalom was one of the 5 people that had the image of Adam Rishon in a certain way. He had the hair of Adam Rishon, and he was going to fix it with his hair. He was going to bring that perfection back to the world. He stays away from yayin, from wine, just like Adam Rishon was supposed to wait to that. The idea and the concept of a Nazir. However, Avshalom also, and he says, I'm going to fix the sin of my father. And that's why he rebels against David, because he wants to fix that sin. He wants to bring that tikkun to its fulfillment. And he sins. However, Avshalom doesn't realize that David HaMelech did tshuva already. And the David's sin is already fixed. And his hair turns into his gaiva. And he is hung from his hair. He goes on a horse and he gets hung, and he's between heaven and earth, and he sees Gehenna down below him. And he could just cut off his hair. But he says, no. If I cut up my hair, I'm going back to this world. I don't want to go back to this world. I'm going to accept my faith. And he does tshuva. And David sings, B'ni, B'ni, my son, 7 times to raise him up from every level to get that final tikkun, that final building. So David HaMelech is this source. David HaMelech, we're told at the end of his life, was going to die on a Shabbos. Shabbos, that was Shavuot. And we're Erev Shabbos Shavuot. And he would learn the whole Shabbos, because the Torah is that Eitz HaChaim. That's what protects us. It's that tree of life that we go ahead and grasp onto. It was the tree that Avshalom was hung on. It's the tree that David HaMelech was ate from, so to speak, fresh. And it was the tree that Adam Rishon in the Garden of Eden missed out on. And that tree is our Eitz HaChaim. Rosh Hashanah on Shavuot, when David HaMelech dies, that's the day that we're judged on our tree. On our day, can we fix that sin? Can we finally grasp that Torah? Eitz Chaim hi lamachazikim ba. It is the tree that is the tree of life if we get that Torah. We're told that Adam is an acronym for Adam, David, and Mashiach. All 3 of those things come together. And that's when we go ahead and bring Mashiach. Is on Shavuot, is that day when we bring the 2 loaves of bread, the lechem, that's going to go ahead and Hashem is going to judge us. And it will bring those karbanos because what was the bread? The bread was the sin. You're going to eat it through the sweat of your brow, through the Torah, through the way that we sweat and we toil and we learn our Torah. We eat lechem. And if we eat that lechem, then we become the lochamim, like David was the great warrior. And then we bring that lechem to Hashem, and then Hashem judges us on the day that he judges all of the trees if we fix that sin. And then we're zeicher to Mashiach ben David. So, on that note, what a powerful day, what a powerful Yartzeit. I'm going to give you guys my David HaMelech song right here. Let's hear. Get your dancing shoes on, if it works. David Melech, Melech Yisrael. Come on, guys. Melech Yisrael, Chayvika. You know what? I'm just going to put the clip on there. You'll listen to it. Listen to my David Melech. I'll send you some more Shavuot songs. Have a great Yom Tov. Subscribe to my weekly email. Subscribe to my... turn this off. Subscribe to the weekly blog. If you see this on YouTube, just click and send me a message, Rabbi Schwartz at yahoo.com. Sponsor it, and we should all be zeicher to the Geula, to Mashiach ben David this Yom Tov.